I'm not that technically savvy. Doing good. Hi, Miss Joe. Bruce, we're waiting on Teresa. News now, Northeast Pennsylvania. Boy, that's a mouthful. Welcome. We're waiting on Teresa, folks, and maybe the 10th man. She's still got to get in touch with him, but she wanted to go out and have a cigarette. So I started it, and we're just waiting on them. Bless your heart. Welcome. RC Field 1. Ready. Grams Beth, hello. Norcal Public Watch, what's up? I'd show you guys Tormund, but he's hiding underneath the swimming hole. Not anymore.
Yeah, could you hear me when I was back there?
No, but I just noticed that you're here, so.
I was kind of talking back there, saying, "Can you hear me?"
No, I couldn't. Couldn't hear you at all.
I just finished running up the steps of this tall building right in the heart of Philadelphia. Is it
Nice.
Philadelphia? I was wearing gray sweats.
Got boxing gloves on, hands raised.
Just right before that, I had chased a chicken.
Did you get in touch with him, or?
Well, I sent a message to him on there. I don't know if he's going to come or not. I'm hoping he will. I said that you were firing up a panel for us, a summit panel stream. So somebody could try to send word to him that the panel stream is fired up.
Yeah.
Super hot. This panel is white hot right now.
Super hot.
How is the lizard? The actual, not your penis, the actual lizard that you own.
Well, that's the only lizard I really talk about.
I know.
He had a chick this morning. I just found the head in the water, so he snapped the head off when he was shaking it around. But he's underneath his swimming hole sleeping.
Have you measured him lately so you can tell us exactly how long he is?
He's about a meter long.
That's pretty good size. That's like one of those yardsticks, right?
It's longer than a yardstick. A meter
Wow.
is 39 inches,
How big is that thing gonna get?
6 feet, maybe 7.
Do you live in an apartment?
No,
That's good. I'm glad to hear that. What do you do when he gets that big though? Like, I mean, I guess they have people. Well, they don't really have people that keep alligators or anything, but they have places where they keep alligators, and they have pools there that they kind of keep them in. So, what do you do for a
that
giant lizard?
that's coming. I got to get him a bigger cage, build him a bigger cage outside, and all that's coming. Work with him a little more, get him on the leash, so I can take him for walks.
Yeah, taking him for walks. That's probably going to be pretty interesting. I see that guy, the 10th guy, is on Jeff's panel right now. So I don't know. I don't know if he's going to come here. Let me look in the chat and see if anybody said anything.
But Sexton,
What's going
he,
on?
he's an Asian water monitor.
Oh, I'm getting some gin in the Discord coming through. Hang on. All right. I think I solved that. Well, I don't know what to do to get this guy over
I
here.
know. We'll have
What
to.
should we do? I swear to God, he was following me from panel to panel today. So I thought he
Um,
would come. I thought he'd be happy to come over here. I know he's got some questions for me. He said, I'm not really sure what what his questions are in regards to, but I try to make myself available to people when they want to ask me questions.
well, we'll
Should be
just
interesting.
open it up to everybody then. Whoever wants to come on, there's the link.
Is today Thursday?
No, Wednesday.
Goodness. I swear I thought it was Thursday all day.
It feels like a Thursday, doesn't it?
It does. It started pouring down rain here this afternoon. I don't know what the weather's like over there for you in Texas, but ugh,
Oh,
it's
it
terrible.
rained this morning, but it's nice right now. I got the back door wide open. Annabelle's laying on the concrete outside, looking at the bushes.
That's kind of what I do too. When it's nice, I lay on the porch. Just kidding.
There.
It is a nice day over there. I don't even want to show you what it looks like here. It's pretty gray. Hello, NJ. It's a nice day over there. I don't even want to show.
Well, why isn't he coming on?
Good evening.
He's here.
Oh,
Can you see the Sasquatch?
yeah, I can now.
Okay.
How you doing, NJ?
Surviving yourself?
I'm all the way live.
Do you
Yeah, I
guys
had
want
to.
to talk about the big? I don't even know if we have very much information about it, but the big what do I call it? Donation gate that's going on in this auditing community at the moment. Has anybody
Well,
heard anything new?
all that's supposed to be resolved tomorrow, isn't it?
The bottom line is a fool and his money are soon parted.
I'd have to agree with that.
I agree with that too, and that's
Yep.
hard to say. I hate that. I hate that anyone would be taken advantage of, but you know, you got to be careful with your money because there's lots of people out there that want to take it from you.
Well, especially as many were going on. I mean, it was a cluster. Why you'd want to give money in that kind of a condition, I'll never know. because you ain't getting nothing in writing unless it was an outright donation. Then you don't care, then it's on you. I mean,
And again, we really don't have everyone's side to the story. I understand that, maybe Peanut might be doing some interviews maybe this weekend. I don't know if that's true or not. Maybe we'll hear her side of the story straight from her mouth. Really, all that we've seen or heard, I guess, is what people have posted as far as screenshots. And I don't know if that's been on YouTube, but I've seen them on Discord. I've seen the screenshots that are, I guess, from her side and the screenshots that are from the other side. So it's very confusing, I think, to everybody that's watching. And I hope that they can work it out, because I think it's a pretty big black eye for,
oh yeah,
especially when you have a big donor like that giving thousands of dollars. Those are the ones you want to keep happy, Those are the
oh
ones you really want to
absolutely.
keep happy. Those
Well, because
aren't the ones you want to piss off.
possibly help somebody else out.
Well,
That really needs it.
the other adage is bite the hand that feeds you. Yeah, you're going to go hungry.
Well, absolutely. And, people can spend their money however they want, but most people want to make sure that they get the most out of their money. And I hate to see the money just blown on a trip that really amounted to producing absolutely nothing, and the amount of money that was spent on that trip and the lack of production of anything relevant from it is just really sad, considering that there's so many other people in this community that could use it.
Yeah, Theresa, have you seen the wiki page on First Amendment auditors?
I don't know if I ever have.
Yeah, I just found it today. I'm mining the footnotes.
10th man in here yet? They're saying
I don't know. I don't see him in the chat.
Well, we've got 29 watching us at the moment, so that's interesting.
That's a lot of people.
I
never get, I never, when I get on these panels or whenever I do the panels myself, I can't ever believe I have more than maybe 5 people watching. I'm always just shocked.
I think the most I've had was like 54. And that was our panel that we did last time you were on my panel. It was a good panel.
Panels can be so much fun.
That one was super hot. I had a good time on that one.
I'm trying to think if there's something else really good, interesting to talk about. I guess while we wait for the 10th man, I guess we could talk about what? Oh gosh, no, I don't even know if I want to talk about that. About the auditor truth scandal that's going on, and the trolling that's been going on back and forth with Merb, I guess, and the popular kids.
Well, the video that I saw, it didn't sound like he was yelling. I mean, he raised his voice, but
Well, it didn't sound like he was yelling and screaming to me, and I can certainly understand where Auditor Truth is coming from, because I've like Auditor Truth, I've had these innuendos of threats about going to the court, going to see the trial, what I can expect if I show my face there and things like that. So I can understand his apprehension at being approached by someone as dangerous as Earl Warden.
there he is. Come on in, 10th man. Welcome.
Thanks for having me.
No problem.
You sound just like a frog. 3.
Oh,
That's so
sorry.
fraud.
Sorry, Frankie.
Your English accent gave you away.
I just heard you were looking for a 10th man.
Well,
I thought I'll be a
I-
10th man if I need to be.
right on. That works.
Still got on the team.
Frog, would you like to get in on the auditor truth and whether or not his decibels rose to the level of yelling?
Of course they weren't. Of course he wasn't yelling or screaming. He was being firm. He was being assertive.
He was trying to get the officer's attention.
Yeah, I mean, Jack Miller was yelling and screaming.
I mean, if he got up and kicked David's ass, I guess that would have got the guard's attention, but
It'd have been different if maybe he went, and pulled out a can of mace and just shot them both with it right then and there. But he just was firm and said, get away. Come on. Freaking out is spraying the mace.
now I'd pay $1 to see that.
Well, a reasonable person would have just walked away, but I guess some of us are more reasonable than others.
We all know that Merb can't be wrong, though. So
Why do you think I said reasonable?
I see he's had a little dig at you, Theresa.
Who is that?
Merb.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, Mean Girl. Chauncey's friend. I posted a picture, and I think Vital Organ had cut it down so it was headless, and well, you can imagine what Merb said.
Hello,
Who the
Taryn
picture was
Dickoff.
of.
Oh, good Lord. Oh, yeah, because I'm going to tell you guys right now, this is a little known secret about me, but if you see a shot of just from the neck down, like I guess down, no head, all of those are me.
Yeah, that's the one.
You're hot.
Every single one of those pictures on the internet is me.
You're smoking hot.
And what about Earl's video today? I mean, that was some weird shit as well, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah. What was that even about? Now I forgot.
It was something about a DA accused him of cloning her card while he was sitting in jail, where he was arrested for continuous sexual molestation of a child between the ages of 13 and 16.
Oh, well, that wouldn't be hard to prove. I mean, I'm sure that there's some police reports, so an initial complaint that would be public record that would be easily pulled. What, I'm sorry, where is that, in Harris County?
It's the Harris County DA he was talking about, I think. Or one of
Oh.
the, one of the people who worked for the DA, one that was on his case. So,
Oh, the one that quit?
haven't two quit now, according to Earl.
Oh, well, certainly those police reports will be very easy to track down.
Or possibly not, Theresa, as they probably don't exist.
Tell me about it. Yeah, or probably not.
And in one news, if you can get in touch with the other 10th man, do it. Give him the link. Here, I'll post it again.
Yeah, it's great having to have two different operating system type web panels up. One Microsoft, the other Google.
What do you mean?
What?
Browsers. I'm sorry, I couldn't think of the word browsers. I've got to get in here. You have to use the Google browser.
Really?
Yeah, I think you have to use Chrome, but on the cell phone, I have to use the Safari.
Yeah, I
Wow.
haven't tried to get in with the phone. I'm on the laptop. That way I can split screen it.
I'm
Well,
lucky. I got this far. I'm computer illiterate pretty much.
Well, I always say if it doesn't work, get a bigger hammer.
I said that too.
And if it still doesn't work, get an even bigger hammer. And if all else fails, there's always C4.
Yep. I had a 16-pound sledge on a long handle. That was a great door knocker.
I do have to ask. I spotted them in chat. Will my dick fit in Tallman's mouth?
Probably would.
that's a good one.
Yeah, I got the news on in the background. I just saw Jill Bidden. I guess after Bucket Boy, she's been real busy now, knocking people and pushing people off the stage that want to jump out and put signs up for other contenders.
Texas Wolfman.
Hello, strangers.
How's
Welcome.
it going?
Evening, sir.
I hear the
Evening,
weather's
Wolfman.
I hear the weather's beautiful there.
Yeah, been getting a little bit of rain, but no, it's pretty right now, I think. Haven't seen much of y'all lately. It's been a rough week. I'm completely lost on this 10th man. What is that all about?
Well, 10th Man has been looking to have a conversation with me. I guess, I don't know, he wanted to have a conversation with me earlier when I was trying to talk to somebody on one of the panels. And, it was on Justin Emo's panel, and I didn't want to get in a big debate because Tammy Lynn was there, and I knew that it would probably get into a big yelling, screaming, cursing match. So I said, we'll do that some other place, some other time. And so here
There
I
he
am.
is. 10th man, welcome.
What's this? This is not the stream I meant to be into. This works awesome.
This is the one with Theresa R, man.
This is a summit.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to have a discussion on somebody else's stream where they can control whether or not I can speak.
As long as you guys keep it civil, you ain't gonna have any problems here.
There ain't no you guys. There's me, guy.
Well, if you talk over her or she talks over you, I'll step in.
I don't talk over people. Oh, Sam Squatch. I think I recall seeing you around at least once before.
It's Sasquatch.
Pronounce it correctly.
It's
got an S.
Sasquatch, not Sam Squatch.
Sam is a good guy.
I'm from Atlantic Canada, so we pronounce it Sam Squatch.
Okay. I'll live with that.
Never seen Trailer Park Boys?
Are you up by Sam Squatchy one?
Sometimes. So what's up, you guys? This was not the conversation I was expecting. So,
Well,
yeah, I don't know any of you people, but that's all right. Go at it.
How about you let us introduce ourselves to you, 10th man? I'm Theresa, and that's Sasquatch. New Jersey Diver is over here to my right.
No, I see those. Yeah.
Yeah, underneath me is Texas Wolfman, and beside him, who's calling himself 10th man, is actually the Frog.
So, the Frog. Yeah, I know that guy. Yeah, that's cool.
Yes, we are also known as the Discord Bag of Dicks, or Trolls, or Merbites. They call us all kinds of things.
Yeah.
But that's
the Frog's been somewhat entertaining at times, so
Oh, not just somewhat. Give him a little credit. He's very entertaining.
Listen, I'm very new here, but I see a whole lot of nonsense. So is this stream going to be made public so anybody can see it?
It's going live right now.
Good.
Anyway, you had said you had questions for me earlier, and so I wanted to make myself available.
Cool. So why don't you ask questions instead so I can understand the context of where this conversation's going?
Well, I guess maybe I will start off by saying that I guess you had said you had some questions for me earlier, and that was in the context of me jumping on that panel stream where I can't even remember the guy's name, Richard something, was having a heart attack about a copyright strike that I put on Hunter.
Yeah, that was a lot of nonsense, and I was partially responsible for that. That's the only reason I got involved in the first place, was because I was trying to talk to you and say, I was trying to bring I was the one who put the screen share up on his behest because I was talking about how cool I thought that show was, because I actually watched the whole show. And I don't even remember how I found it, in all honesty. Just trolling around, trying to figure out what's going on. And I don't mean trolling as in unga bunga. I got a club in the, I mean, trolling like, trolling for fish. Just looking for stuff. And I saw that exchange with Trump and you, and Brian. And I was like, and then the 2-hour rant that Brian went on, and I was like, this was magnificent. Like, it was beautiful. The whole, like, everything that I saw. And I was like, you know what? And I mentioned it to those guys. And I was like, you got to see this. It was fantabulous. And I felt very responsible. So that's why I wanted to talk to you that day and try to reason with you and just make it go away. Right? I felt responsible for it. I wanted to be like, hey, hold on. So then, up until yesterday, as far as I knew, the channel was still inaccessible. And then I brought it up today in the stream that you came into as part of my anti-troll show that I did earlier today, where I was explaining what the motivations are of these people, the people who try to destroy rather than build. And then that's how your situation came up, and I was the one that mentioned your name, but I wasn't really trying to even call you out. I was just mentioning it in passing, just the nonsense that I watch go on. It's just like when I try to contact a government agency or anything else, they only want to hear what they want to hear. They think that they're protected by their anonymity. Go into a government office, they like to flip their name tags over so you can't tell what their name is, so you can't write it down. When they give you lies, when they give you disinformation, and don't do their job properly. So that's how I kind of saw this going down. It was a one-sided argument where one person had power and the other person really didn't even do anything wrong. So I wanted to kind of, feel out your motivations for what you're doing. Because mostly what I've seen is destruction. I've only ever, from you personally, I've only ever seen destruction. I've seen no building or positiveness.
Okay.
And I just wanted to ask you if what I'm seeing is real.
Okay. Are you going? It's my turn to speak.
Of course. Yeah. No. I just wanted to tell you.
All right. Well, let me start here. Let me start here from the beginning. First of all, let me assure you that while you may have felt responsible for what happened, it was not your responsibility. Hunter brought that all on himself. So you can pretty much take that out of your, your mind. And as of yesterday, the channel was not gone. You just said that, as of yesterday, the channel was still inaccessible, and that is incorrect. This had nothing to do with his channel not being accessible. He was still able to make live streams. He was still able to upload things. He got a copyright strike. He didn't get his channel removed. And then I think, what else did you say here? You said that you had seen nothing but destruction from me. Nothing but destruction from me. You don't see me building anything up. You just see destruction. And so you said, also that you're very new to this. And so I'm going to ask you, what destruction are you talking about?
Oh, for right now, I'm not going to get into specific accusations.
Oh, okay.
We'll let that go down in time. It's just even the way that this is going down now.
I see. So you can make accusations that I'm destroying things, but you're not going to give me any specifics. That's fine.
The way that you come into 2 different streams that I observe and just kind of rant. You just kind of rant. There's no substance. So I wanted to ask you questions. So now I've given you the supposition. And if you don't want to answer the questions, that's perfectly fine. Right? I'm not going to make accusations.
I've answered every question you had, sir.
I don't think I asked any.
Well, I think you did. I think you did, and then I asked you if it was my turn to speak, and then I responded. So if you have any other questions that
Okay.
you feel like I have not responded to, I would appreciate it if you'd ask them now.
All right. Why do you think that I would get a person like? Are you just here to destroy?
No.
So why would you attack? Like, as far as I know, Hunter's in his early 20s, right? A kid that has a lot of issues going on, right? Where you know, we're fighting tyranny out here. I spend a lot of time every day calling government representatives, emailing them, catching them in their lies. You know, this isn't all on my YouTube. I like to do the full thing before I actually go about it, right? And I don't try to get people in trouble either. Sometimes people's bosses in government will say, "Can you just give me that recording that you're talking about? Because, you know, I'd like to have it so I can talk to my coworker or, you know, my underling about this." And I've told them, no, I don't actually feel comfortable providing it to you because I'm not trying to get that, you know, lady who's probably 2 years from retirement in trouble. I don't really, you know, want to give her a hard time. I'm trying to point out the systematic problems, not get some lady that, you know, never really was told what the right thing was to do for the past 45 years. I don't want to get her fired. I don't want to destroy people's lives. Right?
Okay.
I try to help. No,
okay,
hold on.
Well,
So
all right. Look,
why
look,
would you attack a child that has children and is getting pulled over for giving the cops the finger? Yeah, he may not be the best guy, but, you know, you seem to be well established. It really seems like you're just attacking people weaker than you.
That may be what it appears to be to you.
That is what it appears to be, yeah.
But I don't think that you understand the whole story. And so I'm going to tell it again. Maybe you'll let me finish.
I was there when he told you to go after yourself and all that stuff.
I see. I gotcha. All right. Well, okay. Well, then you must know the whole story. And I must have just attacked some little guy.
Tell me what I don't know.
I must have just attacked some little guy that didn't do me any harm, huh? And my channel means nothing, and my property means nothing, and my intellectual property means nothing, and I can let him take from me anytime he wants. And not only take from me anytime he wants, but he can call me a bitch and a whore and a slut and say I'm a murderer and I spread AIDS and all kinds of other stuff, right? That's what I'm supposed to do for this community, sir? Is that what you're Oh, you let me finish. Let me finish. Is that what I'm supposed to do for this community, sir? I'm supposed to let them shit on my head and then give them my property? Is that what you're telling me I'm supposed to do, sir?
I don't think I told you anything.
What are you telling me I'm supposed to do? What is my obligation, sir?
To help find harmony.
That's my obligation, to help find harmony.
Yep.
Okay. Well, with the minute people stop shitting on my head.
Did you not see any of my 11-hour? Did you not see any of my 11-hour trollathon the other day?
No, don't watch it.
Well, it wasn't on my channels.
No. Sorry,
just saying.
People
come after everybody. What I do is I come after the strong, right? So it's all good. It's just I'm the type of guy who will stand up to somebody who's picking on somebody who's weaker than them.
I'm the same type of person. Let me tell you that right here now. I'm the same type of person. I'm about victims. So if you victimize somebody, including myself, I will come after you. I will come after you, and I will come after you very fucking hard. Hey, let me finish like you insist I do for you. If you victimize someone, including myself, my family, my friends, that's right. I'm coming after you.
You felt victimized by the guy that was copyright striked?
Yeah, I felt like he stole from me.
That doesn't seem like you're victimized. Seems like you just
people that get
have a large ego. That's all I'm saying. Is I'm the one who has the biggest ego.
You know what? Right? I'm the one that spent 8 years building up that channel. I'm the one that spent my time making the videos that go on it. I'm the one that cares about the TOS and follows the guidelines so that my channel doesn't get taken down. I'm the one that owns the channel. It's my property. That's my intellectual property. Do you understand? I don't owe you.
Well, yeah, but we
Hunter.
talked
You
during
can
that
let me
video and
finish.
everything.
Why won't you let me finish? Why do you interrupt me? And why do you think that's okay?
Because you make
Oh,
like 15
there's a
accusations.
reason. There's
Yeah.
a reason that you can go on and on and on without taking a breath. And if somebody tries to jump into the conversation, we're interrupting you, or I'm interrupting you. I don't want to speak for everyone here, but when you do it, it's different. There's a reason, because I'm a bitch. You can do it because I'm a bitch. Hunter can be mad at me and steal from me because I'm a bitch. Is that what it is? So that's the whole thing, right? In a nutshell. You and everybody else can do whatever the hell they want to Theresa because she's a bitch. But
dude,
don't
you
let
sound
Theresa
hilarious.
do it to them, right?
10th man, let her talk.
She talks 5 times as much as I do.
No, she
Well,
doesn't.
excuse me, that has not been the experience in the last 20 minutes.
Set a timer.
Channel.
Set a timer.
Buddy, I'm all for setting a timer on you.
Do it.
10th man, let's try and be constructive. Okay, Hunter.
Oh, I'm trying to be constructive. I'm
no,
not the one raising
let me
my
finish.
voice.
Let me. Fuck. You know, you've just been criticised for jumping in. You don't like it. You're the first one to jump down anyone else who interrupts you, and yet I say 5 words and you're interrupting. I mean, does that not tell you something about yourself? Right.
Just because I'm ahead of you guys. Just because I'm a couple steps ahead. You know, sometimes I might interject.
What do you mean?
It tells the rest of the panel you're rude.
Right, 10th man, let's talk about Hunter and let's talk about Mummy of Many. What's the best thing you think they can do for themselves at this present moment in time? Get off YouTube. Get off YouTube. Sort out their lives. Get a stable home environment.
Yep.
And maybe any future kids they have might be taken off them, because they're probably not going to get any kids that they've got back now. You know, that's the constructive advice to Hunter. That's the only constructive advice. I mean, the fact that Theresa hit him with a copyright strike, so what? I got hit with copyright strikes. I've lost a YouTube channel because some rapist didn't like me putting out the truth.
That's never important with these people, though. They can hit us with every freaking TOS violation they can. Cry, you know, everything they can squeak through YouTube to pull a video down off of my channel, off of Frog's channel, take YouTube channels down off of the internet to stop us from speaking. And you have the nerve to say a word about me filing a copyright strike against someone who stole from me?
I don't think that the punishment fit the crime.
What do you mean?
He wasn't
What do you mean? That's YouTube systems.
That's following the rules of YouTube.
That's just YouTube system.
Pretty sure I just heard someone say taking advantage of the system.
They take advantage of the system.
Oh, Theresa just reported the crime. YouTube is the one that dished out the punishment. If you have an issue, you're taking it up with them.
And Hunter had the opportunity to appeal the copyright strike. Did he, Theresa?
He absolutely did. And not only that, I went to talk to him about it before I ever filed it. And he called me names. I tried to warn him, say, hey, look, you know, you're going to take that out. Unless you ask me, I don't want you just using my stuff. You know, he could have taken it out. He could have done that. But in the middle of a live stream, when I tried to deal with him on a personal basis, he called me names and told me to file the strike if I didn't like it.
No, I don't know.
So essentially what you're saying, from all I'm getting from this, is...
What you're getting from this, I think, is that you think that you and Hunter and anybody else in this community can take from others just like it was yours.
You understand that I don't know any of these people, right?
Who knows what you know? I'm sure you'll say something else.
I'm very new here. I'm very new here.
Okay, well, it's a good thing that you're backing up this goofball.
No, I'm not backing up anybody. That's the whole issue. That's why I came to ask some questions. And really all I'm hearing is, well, whoever's talking, just some people that would believe that if you saw somebody in a place where it was legal to carry an open carry weapon, that you would either call the police just to try to get them some trouble, or
You have a
to
very, very mixed up preconceived notion of who we are, sir. You are
I've heard a
incorrect.
lot of bad stuff, and so far,
Now, oh,
what
good.
I'm
And so
hearing
far, you've produced
is dead on.
absolutely not one bit of proof of anything you say. Oh, we're tearing stuff down, you said. That's what we do. We destroy things, huh? But you can offer absolutely not one incident, not even one incident to talk about.
All right, if I can interject
I'm not here
a
to make
moment.
accusations. I'm here to
No,
investigate.
you're
Did you not?
no,
Did you
you
not
are
just?
here to
Did you
make
not just
accusations.
notice?
Excuse
Did
me.
you not just notice, 10th man, that someone else spoke before you opened your cocksucker? Did you not notice that?
All right, let's not get into ad hominem. Mr. 10th man, do you know
Yes, sir.
anything about Teresa's background in this society or community or whatever you want to call it?
A little tiny bit, yeah.
Do you know anything about PNAC, which is actually an acronym?
A little bit. You mean the person who goes under Pinac News?
PNAC News was started quite a few years ago, and at its inception, Teresa was working for them.
Gotcha, yeah.
As far as factual evidence, empirical evidence on people, she is one of the best in this quote unquote community at digging out the truth. She is respected by quite a few people of prominence, and I will say this, she has definitely created many enemies of the people who she has exposed.
Yeah, see, I looked into some of that too. I'm not going to bring up any specifics, but I did look into some of that stuff. And when I looked into it, I'll just say this. I have known people, like friends and different people over time, who've been accused of crimes that sometimes involved their own children by, disgruntled spouses and stuff like that. And a lot of times, the parent that is accused of those crimes will admit to those crimes.
Hang on.
Yeah, hold on.
No. What's that got to do with what NJ just said? What the hell has any of what you've just commented on? What's that got to do with what
Just
NJ?
because you don't like what I'm
He's
saying
gonna
doesn't
try
mean.
to say, well, he was, somebody was convicted of
No.
raping a woman at gunpoint behind a convenience store while they pretended to be a cop, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they went on later to molest their girls, huh?
Is he trying to
People
talk
lie.
about? Is he trying to bring up Earl?
Oh,
Is that
no
what he was
doubt.
trying to
No
do?
doubt.
I don't even know who Earl is.
Excuse me.
I mean,
Excuse me.
I don't know nothing about
NJ
that.
was talking about Pinac, and this guy starts.
Yeah,
I don't
know that much about Pinac. We're talking. No. We're talking about. He said that she's very respected, so on and so forth, by people.
So you're going to tell us how she isn't? Yeah. Come on then.
No. I'm giving my view of an entire situation rather than a specific situation. Is sometimes.
If
Sorry,
I
go
may
ahead.
interject here a moment, are you in the belief that the justice system in this country is so corrupt that the majority of people that are charged are innocent?
Too many of them, yeah.
And are you of the belief that trial by jury and that system is so badly corrupted that there is no justice any longer?
Only on very rare occasions. When everything's been completely recorded and stuff like that, I believe that a large majority of arrests that are made are illegal. Yeah, because if you're only seeing a small amount of the arrests, and the way that cops and the justice system works when they're being recorded, and you look at it from a very objective point of view. Yes.
All right, let's be adult.
No, this is what trolls do. This is what children do who don't want to actually have a conversation about
No,
anything.
you want to control and monopolize the conversation. How many weeks have you spent sitting in court watching court cases? How many weeks have you even done that, idiot? I'm sorry, Frog.
Tell me, in Canada, do you have a right to a jury trial?
Under certain circumstances, yeah. I'm not.
When do you not have a right to a jury trial?
Well, sometimes with civil cases and stuff like that, yeah.
Well, no, that wouldn't be criminal then, would it? I mean, that's pretty idiotic.
Well, that's the whole problem, isn't it? When you have a criminal justice system where only corrupt people are allowed to have representation at any point during it, yeah, I'd say it's corrupt.
I think we can see the problem that actually 10th Man belongs in High Impact. He's a soft sit.
Well, I was going to ask him. I'm sorry, Frog, but
upset. Oh, that's beautiful. You are wonderful, sir.
I think we're on the same page, though. Yeah, he's a Mark Stevens fan.
Yeah,
you're a wonderful, wonderful man.
Do you follow Mark Stevens?
Well, that's what you are, aren't you, 10th Man? I mean, it's obvious. It's obvious.
Definitely not. No.
No.
But when I have a system that changes my national
Law and Order, which is controlled by a democratic government, which you fucking elect, you are a member of the population that elects your government in Canada. You have a democratic system. You have trial by jury. 12 peers. 12 peers found you guilty or not guilty. If you chose to go just before the bench, that was your own fault, because you have a fucking right to a jury trial. You might not have chosen to take it. You've probably been convicted of this and that and the other.
I've never been convicted of anything.
What, you've not paid drive? You've not paid driving? You've not had any driving offences?
No.
You've not had any drug offences?
Yeah, I got caught with some weed 2 years before it was medically legal.
So you've not been convicted.
Because I need it for medicine because of disabilities that I have.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
Yeah.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
Definitely do.
If it was illegal, if your government, if your country democratically said it was illegal, it was fucking illegal. That's how law and order works.
You're sick. If you can't understand
law and order works,
you live in a dream world.
That is how law and order works. You vote people into power.
This is why I love you people.
No,
because you live in a dream world.
You are a soft sit man.
No, you can throw around names as much as you want, but what you are is somebody who does not see.
You do not believe in government and law and order.
Not true.
You believe in the ideal of a communist state, which will never work.
I definitely do not. Just because you can't understand how things work doesn't mean you get to call down other people that do.
I'm the one who's been far more successful than you. I'm telling you that.
How do you know what I've done?
Far more fucking successful at life than you. Okay? Everyone else in this room is far more successful in life than you.
But you're picking on the little guy. You're not picking on the little guy with this guy.
I'm not picking on the little guy.
I'm untouchable, boys and girls. I'm untouchable. So you can't ever touch me. You can't do anything to me because I'm a pure soul.
I don't really want to.
I don't hurt people. So you know what? You saying how successful you are when you don't even know me proves once again your salt, sir. It proves what you're made from. And you're just proving my point for me. You're throwing names. You can't. You have no substance.
Do you have a conviction or not?
Excuse me a moment.
No, I most definitely don't.
The gentleman is using Socratic method on us. He is about akin to that gentleman in Crud named Horace.
It's exactly the same. That's where he belongs. I mean, they should just go off into their own little echo chamber. I mean, I've said to Horace, go and develop this society. Go and find a desert island. Go and
you guys sound like Antifa.
Sorry?
You guys sound like Antifa as you can get.
Antifa.
I'm not conservative. I'm not Democratic.
Well, I don't. Whoever's talking right now, I don't know you. I'm just saying the two people that keep screaming sound like Antifa protesters. It's beautiful.
I haven't
far
I haven't
from
really
it.
heard anyone screaming. I have heard some raised voices, but I know that there's been a big controversial debate over screaming and raising voices today. But you said that you had been pulled over or something with illegal drugs at one point, but you don't have a conviction.
No,
So you were found not guilty. Did you get to go through a trial, or are you going to
none
explain
of none
that,
of
or is that
that's
a
neither
secret?
here. It's neither here nor there. I've never had a criminal conviction for anything in my entire life.
So they threw it out.
No, it's
Basically.
not relevant. None of that is relevant. I'm telling you, I'm not a criminal.
It's a
I
secret.
help people. No, it's
Prove
not
it.
that it's a secret. I'm not sitting here having conversation. I've explained to you that's the only time I've ever been in trouble with the law, and that was
Well, then
decades
you know
ago.
what? You know what? You don't have as much experience being in trouble with the law as a lot of people here on this panel, especially me. I guess I
No,
can't speak for everyone, but I mean, I've guess I've spent a little bit more time in
has
trouble
any of
than
you
you.
guys even watched my videos at all?
Have you watched ours?
Some of yours, yeah.
Okay, well, I'm sorry, I haven't watched any of yours.
I understand you guys don't know who I am. I am definitely not a troll, and I'm
It's
the
not
furthest thing.
hard to not know who you are because
That's
we've been
fine.
around this
What is a
community for a
troll?
long time, and we understand exactly where you're coming from and who you are. And yeah, what do you think a troll is?
What is a troll? Is a troll someone who disagrees with you? Is that what a troll is?
Nope. Troll's somebody who, like you guys tried to accuse me of, tries to control the narrative, right? I tried to explain to you where I'm coming from with my attitude towards specifically Theresa. It's just I've seen a few stories where you've put stuff out about people
Who?
where you've.
Give
I'm not
example.
saying who. It's not
Example.
relevant.
Come on.
No,
Well, no. Of course, it's
'Cause I was-
relevant.
No,
Of course, it's
but I'm
relevant.
just saying-
If you can't just say, "Oh, I've seen stories about where you've put things out." I'm trying to
Yeah.
explain something, but I'm not going to explain it. I mean, as Wolfman says, or NJ Diver said, it's classic Socratic. You're not going to
You
say
don't
anything.
get to tell me how to talk or answer, sir. You see,
All
that's
right,
the
Yes, I
problem.
do.
well, how's this?
I can tell you how to talk and answer. Yes, I can.
No, you
Because I'm
certainly
a free
cannot.
man. I'm a free man. I
Right,
can
but then
tell
when
you
I
what the
don't
fuck
do
I
what you
want.
say and you scream over me like a child, it proves your salt,
But you-
boss.
Who's the person who interrupts all the time?
Oh, excuse me. One of the things that I was trying to bring out is the fact that when Theresa publishes something, she has a source for it. It's either empirical evidence from a trial, it's court documents, it's public record. That is what she does, and she does it very well. And that's why
Right.
she's respected. She has the empirical evidence to back up what she publishes.
Right.
And for those that don't like that because it's published about them, then they need to explain themselves and straighten themselves out. The stories that are going on about her are 99.99% vindictive and incorrect.
And have I said any of those things?
Have you defended her?
Why would I? I don't defend anybody.
You say you. Oh, hang on.
Well,
You've
you're
just
on.
talked about defending Hunter. So
No,
Gee,
no,
you
I'm
don't-
defending the fact that it seems like a big guy picking on a little guy.
why is it a big guy picking on a little guy? He's an adult, isn't he?
You just said you guys are all even more successful than me. I don't think that probably from what I've been
No.
able to see
No.
that
No, I said
he's as
I'm more-
successful as me. So then that means you're picking on a little guy, right?
I said I'm more successful than you. I can't talk for the others, but I know I'm more successful than you.
Thank you, Mr. President.
All right, let me ask you a question of you. Have you ever involved? I know you're from Canada, is that correct?
Correct.
All right. Have you ever involved yourself in your communities, your territory or states, or your nation's legislature?
Very much so.
Have you been successful in getting any legislature passed?
I have met most of the people in a lot of different provinces.
Answer the question.
And they play games.
Answer
Right?
the question. You were
Have I
asked a
been able to
direct
get?
question.
I
You were asked.
did.
You
I
answer.
did.
You were asked a question which actually has a yes or no answer. So, was it
Once
yes or
again,
no?
don't get to tell me how to answer, and then
No,
you don't
no.
get to
You
scream
were
at me
asked
if
a
I don't answer
question.
how you say.
You were
All right,
asked a
Frog.
question. Yeah, but NJ, don't give him a chance. He was asked a question that has a yes or no answer. I mean,
Is it a conversation or an interrogation,
no. You were
Master?
asked a question. You were asked. It was a simple question.
Yes, boss. I'm sure and answer the question the way you want, so long as you don't beat
I'll
me.
answer that
Is
question
that what you
to
want to hear,
NJ.
buddy? Is that what you want to hear? Big
No.
tough guy? No, you're acting like a big tough guy. You don't speak to me any way that you want, or else I'll speak
I
to
can
you
speak. I can
disrespectfully.
speak.
Do you understand that, little
I can
boy?
speak to you however I want.
You do
I can speak.
not
I
get to
can speak to you however
disrespect
you
other
want.
people, or else
You're
I'm
a
going to call
fucking
you on it.
Canadian twat.
I will
is what
listen
you are.
to your
You're a fucking
nonsense so
Canadian
long.
twat.
Who do you think you are talking to
You
Frog
are.
about disrespecting anyone
Who
on
does
this
he think
panel
he is?
after
He's nothing
you
to me.
sat and
He's not going to
listened to
speak
those people
condescendingly
the other
towards
day
me.
I'm
speak
going to
to
speak
me
how the
like they
fuck I
did,
want to
sir?
you, mate.
And I tried to get them to stop, Theresa.
But you can't answer a yes or no question.
So I did stand up for you that day because I
You
So,
tried to
can't
get
tell
them to
us
answer
stop.
what
a yes or no question.
legislations have you been involved with?
I've
Do you have any
helped.
particular
I've helped.
interest? Isn't there any sort of legislation that you've helped change, or what influence? What
Yeah,
what
I
particular kind of
call
legislations are you
all
involved
these
in?
disabled persons help, stuff like that.
Can you name the
Medical
act?
marijuana legislation, many different things.
Name the act.
Sorry, I'm not sure what
Name,
you're referring to.
name the act that was passed through Parliament. Name the act.
What does this remind me what you're trying to say?
Name the act that was passed because of your help.
Oh, who knows, buddy? I don't even.
Well, we can.
That's
You see, what
few
we
years ago.
quite like to do is we can go and research and see, verify your story. Because
No, you can't. You can't find anything about me.
I don't believe a word
Whatever.
that comes out of your fucking mouth about your achievements.
All right, Frog.
Not-
Frog, let me qualify my question a little bit.
You're so sad, dude. Anyway, go ahead, sir.
Wolfman, there's
have
a
you in-
private message.
Have you involved yourself in any specific legislation, in any specific bill that has been successful?
You mean my specific name, or like calling government representatives, trying to educate them, stuff like that?
Do
When
you
you call
have
these legislatures, do you have a bill number that you say, "Hey, look, I'm calling about bill number whatever, blah 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 blah
Many times
blah"?
over the years. Yeah,
Okay,
many
well
times.
then, can you give us the name of one of those bills?
I'm not sitting at my computer. I'm finishing up making rice for me and my husband right now. But like I said, different
Okay,
things. I've called
whatever.
many people over the years. What is the relevance of your question? I don't understand the relevance of your question.
The relevance
You
of
want
the
me to go
question
look?
is
You want me to go to my computer and then research bills that I called my government representatives about 5 or 10 years ago in different provinces than I currently live and stuff like that to give you the bill name and number?
The reason I'm asking,
Like, I'm just.
all right.
It's okay. I'm
Can
not
I
trying to
ask
be
you-
disrespectful towards anybody. I assure you of that. I just don't like being spoken to like I'm a child, and then if I do, then I'm going to say something back. So go ahead, sir.
okay. Well, don't speak to anybody on this panel like a child. I promise you'll get as much respect here as you give.
The reason I've asked that is because I've been involved in politics as far as legislation goes, in regulation from the hamlet level all the way up to the federal government here in the United States since around 2006.
Yep.
My experience has been that you can't trust any of the politicians that you're talking to, especially if you're from an NGO, which is non-governmental organization, unless you have enough money to help him get elected or re-elected in more cases than not. The question I asked was anything specific that you got into. I mean, I can remember pretty much all that I was involved in those 14 years. Almost all of it was fisheries. Lately, I've been involved in public access to tidelands. But it's not as if I can't, and I agree with you. I can't give you specific bill numbers. I can give you generalities about them, but I do remember what I was involved in.
That's what I
And
was
it
trying to
was
do, boss, but then I
significant.
get attacked.
Excuse me. It was significant enough that I was able to get my handwriting on 2 regulations involving 2 different states. I've been able to get my wording involved in a recently passed state of New Jersey statute, and I'm still working on getting the regulations that statute mandates, getting those rewritten. Those are the type
Right.
of things that bring respect from the people in this community and in any community.
Okay. Can I ask you a question, sir? Because you seem very reasonable so
I
far.
can be at times.
Do you believe that if a person who's in their late teens and went to one of their friends of a friend's because their doctor told them that they should probably use medical marijuana because they have very bad disabilities that cause them crippling pain, but it's 2 years before the medical marijuana is actually legal because of the tyranny, that person's automatically wrong, like this other gentleman was trying to infer, that I was just a bad guy doing bad stuff, or was I trying to live my life and I had a tyrant come?
You're misrepresenting what he said. He didn't
Did I
say you
say
were
you're
just a bad guy doing a bad.
Well, he
being a
said
bad
that it
guy.
was illegal and that's part of a civilized society, blah, blah, blah. I believe that we're seen as no
What
more
he
than
said was,
livestock.
you're a part of the democratic society in the country where you live, and you are
Yeah.
a part of the democratic process that enacted that law. It's
where
a law.
where you choose between Corporation A
I
or
can't help what
Corporation
you have
B.
to choose with. I can't help all that. That's where you have to listen to what NJ's
What?
doing over there at his with his legislatures and stuff. I can't help all that. You can't just sit back and cry about it now.
You chose to break that law, like I've chosen to break the law and have edibles.
And
You
anybody who
chose
was
to.
involved in putting me in that position should be
No,
held to account.
No, you chose to break that
No.
law. You, as an individual, yes, you
No.
did.
No, you don't get to say that the person in the wheelchair chose to go to the place that wasn't wheelchair accessible, so that was their choice. See how you're blaming the victim?
Apples and oranges.
And that's why we would never see eye to eye, because
oranges.
you see things behind the veil, right? You're looking from your perception is veiled, and that's all I'm trying to say here.
I'm
When you live in a,
I'm successful in society, and you're not. That's the difference.
It's the difference is Frog calls for accountability, and you're nothing but justification.
And I'm working within the system to get changes done. And yes, it took quite a while. The one change that I was able to get in the regulations for the community I represented took pretty much 10 years, 10, 12 years to get it done. But it was eventually done. And that just takes determination and that takes patience. And especially when you're dealing with nonprofits, you're dealing with volunteers, that's the only way you can get it done, is have the patience, have the determination. What I see, what you're bringing up is a personal incident that many in this quote unquote community have involved themselves in because of personal problems they have had with authorities, which is all well and good. But when you violate what was established by the society at the time and you deal with that at that time, if you straighten yourself out or the law changes, those are circumstances that come about with time. What I'm seeing is someone who has an answer for everything that's said here, but it's not because it resolves anything, it's because that's their philosophy.
okay. You saying that that's me or you guys?
That's anybody that the label fits.
You believe, 10th man, don't you, that you can do what you want, and no other man should be able to control what you can do. Because
so long as I'm not
it's right.
harming someone else, yep.
Yeah, that's what you believe, isn't it? That's classic Sov Sit. I hope you realize that.
I believe that somebody who believes that they're better than somebody else because they had better opportunities than the other person, and they sit on a pedestal where they believe that they get to give judgment over that person.
How do you know
Is a
anyone on this
tyrant.
panel had better opportunities than anyone else?
Because that's how it works.
Is it? Is
Yeah.
it? Because there's lots and lots of people out there who don't have all those opportunities that still make something of themselves. How do they do that?
Do you know what opportunities I had growing up? Do you know where I came from?
You don't know the history of, I don't think, one person on this panel, sir.
I don't think I pointed out any one person on this panel, ma'am.
Now you generalized, and I'm part of that generalization. So where did I come from? Tell me all the opportunities I had.
No, we're not talking about you. We're talking about people's attitudes, bud.
I got an attitude.
You guys see, just from what I'm seeing, you seem like you're part of the cancel culture, right? It's all fine and dandy. You guys don't like me. But
yeah,
over
but 10th
time,
man, let's accept reality.
Mm-hmm.
Let's accept reality. I mean, it's all well and good your panacea, but it's never going to happen, is it? Never going to happen. Never going to happen in 100. Never going to happen
what's
in
not going to happen?
Never going to happen in 10,000 years.
What won't happen?
Your panacea. Your panacea when a man
What
gets
is a panacea?
Your utopian
Sorry?
society.
He doesn't know what a panacea is. Jesus Christ. You see that again?
Your ideal society.
Okay.
It's never going to happen. It's been
never
tried.
going to happen.
It's
Never
been
going to
tried
happen.
and it fails over and over and over
And what
again.
utopian society is
you
that?
are in a very significant minority. The 10th man, you're about probably 0.0000001% of the population has your views. So good luck with them. Good luck with them, mate.
What are my views? Like you said, you never watched any of my videos. You know nothing about me.
You've just told us that you believe that so long as you don't harm anyone else, everything that you do should be legal.
So
that's what you told us. That is exactly what you told us.
From what I hear from you,
so long as you don't harm an
United
individual,
Kingdom, right? You're from the United Kingdom?
Yeah, I'm from where the basis of your law comes from.
So
I'm from where the basis of the American law comes from.
When it was the law that you needed to have sex, or the English soldiers would come around and have sex with all the people's women, stuff like that, where the origin of the word fuck, essentially. People who resisted that were breaking the law of the time, right?
Citation, please.
No, I'm just asking.
Never heard of that. I've never heard of that law. Can you cite it? Can you show us any sort of evidence that it ever existed?
The internet.
You check the internet. You're the one that brought it up.
I've seen numerous.
So are you saying that conquering armies throughout time haven't done that?
And if the people do anything against it, but that's the laws at the time, then that's all right. So, just a few years before I was born, it was legal to put a gay person into a mental institution for being gay. Resisting that would have been going against the law of the time, right? See, there's many, many holes in the things that you say, sir. And that's why I'm here, because I'm the 10th man.
What do you mean resisting that? How do you resist it?
Breaking a law.
Resist it? You broke
by any means necessary.
If you broke the law and you were caught, that was the law of the land at the time. You were inside. That's your bad luck.
Right, get in there and get your electroshock therapy, right, buddy? You're nuts. I love you. You are awesome. You are awesome.
That was the law.
Buddy, you are great. You are the best troll I've ever met in my entire life. You are awesome.
What are you on about?
I'm on about that you're crazy. You think that because it was the law at the time, you should just get in there and get your electroshock therapy fruit because we don't like your type. You are mad. You are mad with.
What's he saying?
Mad with ego. You are mad with ego. I'm saying that in Canada, a few years before I was born.
No, shut up. Just shut up a minute.
Of course, everybody has to shut up and let you spew more of your hate speech and nonsense. You are sick calling people sovereign citizens.
We ever had slavery, so
you're
sick. So is he saying is he trying to say I'm homophobic? Is that what he's trying to say?
No,
you're just trying to say that.
No, that's definitely not what I'm trying to say.
No, he's trying to say that you support some law, some ancient law that used to be on the books.
Any law.
That is no longer
Any law,
on
just
the
like he's saying. Just like he's saying.
You know,
I'm not saying that at all.
You're talking to a group of people that actually know how to challenge laws.
Yeah, that's great.
Right. We don't just ride around with weed in our car, get caught with it, and then say, weed shouldn't be legal. It shouldn't be illegal. We don't just do that. You have to know how to fight the law.
And I do. I fight the law fairly vigorously in my own way. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, don't accuse us of following.
I'm just pointing out what he's saying.
Bad law.
I'm just pointing out what he's saying.
You're trying to put words in his mouth, and that's not the way it works. He didn't say that.
He's been calling me a sovereign citizen for an hour. So I think I'm allowed to throw it back.
You have a lot of sovereign ideas. You have a lot of sovereign philosophies.
No, I don't.
If that upsets you, sir, I'm sorry.
No, I don't have sovereign philosophies. No, that's how you guys perceive them. But then you don't allow a person to explain what their philosophy is based on. Because, and I'm not sure if it's just because, like a lot of people think that there's a lot of law enforcement and people who are trying to actually destroy, or if it's that you guys just don't have the ability to understand, right?
What's he on about there?
Could it be that we have a different perspective than you?
What if I think that your guys' perspective, other than, I mean, I don't know everybody, because I think there's 5 people in here besides myself, and I think I've only heard 3 of you speak. I don't think I've heard Diver speak very much. I think that was Sasquatch that was talking about the maritime laws and the.
That was Diver.
No, you're the first to mention maritime laws. I was talking about fisheries regulations and state statute.
Yeah, I gotcha. But
those aren't maritime laws.
Yeah, I just thought of water. I couldn't quite remember. He said something about the floodplains and or something to that effect. I was trying to cook rice. So anyway, I'm glad that you guys are the greatest. And I'll sit here and talk to you guys for as long as you want. Well, for a couple hours more till I got other things to do. But all I'm trying to say is I'm seeing a whole lot of delusions of grandeur. And when I see people picking on little guys, yeah, maybe they're not doing the right thing. But, treat it with kid gloves. If you actually really are good people, treat it with kid gloves and try to spoon feed it to them, right? Don't beat them over the head with it, like Frog has tried to do to me in here. Like I've seen him in other panels too. Very, very belligerent, very, very high on his horse. Your games won't work with me. I assure you of that. You don't know how successful I've been. Does it mean if you have more money that you're more successful than somebody who's done nothing but good and just makes enough money to live? Does that make you better?
Yeah,
you're just someone who loves to hear what's coming out of your cocksucker. You open it so much.
You should shut your cock holster.
And shit spews out.
It's a lot like Mouse, a lot of justification. You're not a solved citizen. You don't share philosophies as solved citizens because I didn't get to justify it. You didn't listen to me justify it. That doesn't mean you don't share philosophies with solved cits. It just means that you want to justify it. That's all. He's talking about accountability. You're talking about justification over and over again.
Why would you want the government to be so accountable to the people, but you don't want anyone else to be accountable for their actions. And the government has to be accountable, right? That's what you're saying.
Because
They're
that's
just
the
never
government's
accountable
job.
but the people don't have to be accountable for their own actions either.
Depends on what those actions are.
Accountability is a two-sided mirror that reflects from both sides. If
Nope.
you want the government to be accountable, then you have to be a watchdog. If the
Yes.
individual cannot be accountable, then they must explain themselves before whatever it is they got nailed for. And
Nope.
I'm not being as eloquent as I want, but if you violate the existing law, statute, code, regulation, ordinance that exists, you challenge it in court. You go up the ladder to SCOTUS if you need to, the Supreme Court of the United States, if you have the wherewithal and the determination to do so. There's at least one individual I know of in this quote unquote community that has done that to the Fifth Circuit. I applaud him for it. I don't applaud some of the other things he's done, but at least he has accomplished that. There are others that do nothing but whine, put themselves in situations that are illegal, and then whine to everyone about it. And there are those in this community that are in it for two reasons that really don't validate themselves. It's called clicks and views and donations. Excuse me. That's really two. It's
those
fame
people upset me. Yeah.
fame and fortune. And unfortunately, the ones that are in here for fame and fortune are what some of us want to expose. And let me, before I stop, let me direct you to a website, FAANCLUB.com. Go in there and look at what is in there. And except for some of the dialogue, I'm sure, which is just like what's happening here, because that happens on the internet, because everybody's anonymous for the most part. You will find documentation. You will find codes, regulations, statutes, ordinances.
You say
And you will
Foxtrot
see
Alpha
what
November
people
November.
will learn.
2 A's.
2 A's. FAAN Club.
Okay.
First Amendment Activist Network Club.com.
.com.org.
Let me explain something. You say you hear a lot about the trolls.
Well, I've only been here for a month, but yeah.
There's the trolls, so-called trolls, okay? Either you like us or you don't, okay? We hold each other accountable. We hold ourselves accountable. The people that are all about justification, they don't like us. All right? If they come in and they try to fit in, I call Theresa out, Teresa's going to call me out, hold us accountable, back up your statement, just like you were asked. Cite it, cite your source, cite the legislation that you took part in. If you can't do that and you can't hold yourself accountable, you will not do well with the troll community, and you're going to go out there and you're going to dog us because you're all about justification.
No, I'm untouchable, so you guys can't do anything to me.
Oh, so you're just picking on us little guys because you're untouchable, and we're little guys, and now you're picking on us. Oh my God, I'm going to cry now.
I came to ask questions.
Hold on, I got to get a tissue. Hold on.
You came in with a lot of preconceived notions. Now I have a question for you, though.
Yeah,
you said that the government does need to. That
it was about Earl. Look at that.
Pardon?
Anyway, continue. No, the whole thing that I was bringing up earlier, I didn't know who Earl was because I don't pay attention to people's names. But I think that was at least part of what I was bringing up, and I was trying to give you guys an explanation.
I kind of wondered if you knew who Earl was when you're talking about, the big guys smashing down the little people.
No,
I wondered if you actually knew who the hell, Earl was. But my question for you, sir, was you said that, the government does have to hold people accountable for some things. Who gets to decide? Who gets to decide what those things are?
The people should have the right to anonymity where the government should not. Right, to a point. But what I was saying earlier about the Earl situation, I know enough about it because I just watched a few videos of yours and a few different ones. My whole point is, if you don't know for sure because you weren't there,
Sorry to interrupt.
what you guys are saying, what you
Is he
guys are
going to
saying
get
about
back into the Earl conversation?
I'm
Because
sorry.
look, if we're going to get into the Earl conversation, we're going to break out every fucking record we got for this motherfucker.
no, that's
I'm not
just-
going to sit here and
yeah.
listen to some bullshit
just
about
say,
a fucking
Theresa,
rapist.
Earl's in chat. You want to say hi, Earl? Come on up. Sasquatch, why don't you throw a link for Earl to come up?
I've known many people that have been accused of stuff that they didn't do. And I also know a lot of people that were never held accountable for what they did.
I'm going to interrupt you one more time, sir. And it's probably going to be the last time I call you sir. If you can
Ma'am.
keep bringing up this subject.
No, it's
If
not
you
a
want to
subject.
talk,
I'm
if
just
you want to
saying,
talk, if you want to talk
you guys are
about
very
that
sure of
rapist,
yourselves.
if you want to talk about that rapist, you better have read every fucking document that I have put out before you come in here making accusations about me. Okay? So unless you've read every fucking document that's out there, unless you've done your research and you know the whole story, shut the fuck up about it.
If I may quickly,
Okay, so
yeah, 10th man, if you look in the chat, Pilot just posted the URL for fan club.
Oh, I'm already on there. That's how I found out his name was Earl.
Well, enjoy reading. There's lots of there.
No, I get you. It's just, I don't like zealots. And
Rapists
at least,
are all right. Rapists are all right.
well,
What do you think about chomos? Do you like parents that molest their children over the course of their entire teenage years? Is that something
well, see, that's what I
feel
mean.
good
Is I've
about?
known people
Is
where
that
those
something you feel good
accusations have
about?
been made.
What do you
I've known
think about? What do you think about people that pretend to be police officers so they can rape women? What do you think
But
about
were you
those kinds
there
of
when
people,
these
sir?
things happened?
What do you think about those kinds of people, sir?
So,
Were you there when these things happened?
so
What do you think about
unless
those kinds of people, sir?
Were you there?
it matters that you were there, Theresa, you have to witness every crime to have an opinion on it.
Well, no, but it's like a second-hand information.
Right.
No.
This-
He was found guilty by a jury of his peers.
So everybody that's found guilty is guilty?
He was found guilty by a jury of his peers. He has he has not won an appeal against that conviction, so
That's
he
right.
is still guilty
That's
of
right.
the crime of rape of a woman at gunpoint.
He filed
Wow.
0 motions for post-conviction relief. He pled, or he was convicted by a jury of his peers, and they sentenced him. He never filed for an appeal, and he did his sentence. Okay.
knowing
So
who's
if he's
guilty-
not guilty, maybe he should have filed one fucking motion. One fucking motion.
But no, Theresa, because we weren't there, we're meant to treat him as though he's not a rapist.
Well, that's our
right.
American system of justice.
Well,
not
it's a little more
Canada's.
That's right. The government's
You
corrupt.
want
so when
to
victims
bring
come in,
Canada's
when
system
victims
down
come
just
in,
to
we
the
can't
US.
believe them. We're not allowed
Because
to
we
believe
weren't
victims
there
anymore
when
because the
10th man
government.
molested a little boy. Oh no, I wasn't there. I didn't say that. Oof. Oh, I shouldn't have said that.
see what kind of person you are?
What?
You prove yourself every time you speak, dude.
Come on, say it.
Well, you're making
Come
accusations.
on, big man. Come on, big man, say it.
You're
Come
making accusations that have
Come on,
no
big
basis
man.
whatsoever.
You came
Just
in
like
here
an
doing the same
accusation.
thing. You came in here doing the same thing.
No, I came here to
Oh,
ask
yes, sir,
questions.
you did. Oh, no.
Oh,
No,
okay.
you came in here
The
making
problem is
accusations.
that
Only accusation I
people
ever
who
made
wants-
was that you guys were what you're proving that you are.
that we hold people accountable for their actions.
No, monsters. You just made an accusation against me that's completely unfounded and completely untrue.
I didn't
So
make
you
an
proved
accusation.
my point. You proved my point.
I didn't make an accusation.
You made a veiled accusation.
Veiled
that's
accusation.
That's why I'm here.
Well,
that's
that's not
why
an
I'm here. 'Cause you
accusation.
can't trip me up because I'm better than you. You may
Let's
have
roll the
billions of
tape back and
dollars.
listen to all your veiled accusations.
But
Let's
I'm
roll the
better
tape
than
back and listen to all your veiled accusations, sir.
I'm better than anybody who's going to say the type of things that you're saying.
Well, you've said
Just
them,
that simple.
sir. You
I'm
said them.
smarter than you,
You're not
and I'm
smart.
less mentally ill than you.
Smart.
And that's just a
That's
simple
mentally
fact.
ill.
Awesome.
Let
Because
me
I don't
set a
start
standard
screaming
here.
over you.
Can I set a standard here? You claim to have been arrested but not convicted, correct?
Yep.
Well, guess what? I've never been arrested in my entire life. Does that make me better than you?
No, I think that you probably weren't standing up to authority quite as vigorously as I may have been.
Really? Well,
So does that make you better than us?
Nope,
I
but it
guess
makes
it
me be
does.
able to see monsters real easy. I'm not saying
Well,
everybody in here is
I'm
a
able to
monster.
see them just as
Even
well.
Teresa right now I have no problem with at all.
Then
So I
I'm
can
able to see
understand
monsters just as well because I've stood up to authority.
I can understand why Teresa's angry if the things that she's saying is true, stuff like that. I don't like the zealotry, right? And the only person in here I have any problem with is the person who just said that because you have no evidence that 10th man molested a boy, blah, 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 to even ever make that type of inference or anything like that proves who I'm talking to. And it's perfectly fine. You can't trigger me because, like I said, I'm a pure soul. I don't hurt people. I've never hurt anybody in my entire life. I've defended myself, but I've never actually hurt anybody because at a very young age, I killed a frog. I mean, young, maybe 3 or 4 years old. I killed a frog. And I was like, oh, that was a terrible thing to do. And then I never, ever hurt anybody ever again. And it's been stuck in my mind ever since I did it. Because I should have never done that. Pardon me?
Problem is, he can't prove a word that comes out of his mouth.
Well, he's not a pure soul because he killed a frog. If he was a pure soul from
Frog, that was a
beginning to
veiled
end,
threat.
you wouldn't
Did you hear
have
that
I
veiled
know.
threat?
I
killed
took it as a
anything.
veiled threat.
That's hilarious. No, I actually meant to. I forgot that your name was even Frog when I said it.
I'm sure you did. I'm sure you did.
No, seriously.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm sure you did. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know you, dude. So that's what I mean. You guys don't know me either.
You did
And
say
that's
he
fine.
was the only one you had a problem with.
Yeah. It's all fine and dandy for you to see.
I find
It's all
people,
fine and dandy for you guys to think what you think about me. That's perfectly fine, right?
Well,
I have
you're
skin in this
prepared.
game.
You're prepared to put on an idol a man who is a convicted rapist.
Never did any such thing.
Yes, you did.
Nope.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Nope.
did. Yeah, you
Okay.
did.
You can
Because
tell me
we're
what I did.
bad.
Your
We're bad
earlier
for attacking him.
references
Just your
were
behavior.
too close to his case.
What's that? Say again.
I've seen the comments that you left on my oral videos too the other day. 10th man. I don't remember exactly what they were, but it was something about people calling you a fraud, and I don't know
Yeah,
that
people make a
anybody
lot of
that
accusations against me too.
yeah I don't know that anybody I know has ever called you a fraud. I don't know that you've
I'm just
ever
saying, a
claimed
lot
to
of
be
people have
anything that you have been fraudulent about. You don't make any claims to do anything, to be honest with you.
a lot of people have made a lot of claims about me here and previously. And you know what I found? Those people don't like being recorded, whether it's in the government or where you go. And I've recorded some things that over time will come out. I lost a lot of stuff a while ago because I lost a Google
You got a thumb
account.
drive? Have you got a thumb drive?
I'm not quite sure what you're saying.
No, have you
That's
got a
an
thumb
inside
drive?
joke.
Yeah, I got a few.
And
I didn't
what,
then.
you're going to release this all, in 20 years' time, are you?
Oh, it probably won't take that long, no. But when stuff's in litigation and stuff. But anyway, point is,
You got stuff in litigation. Can you cite the case numbers, please?
definitely not.
You see,
So
Definitely not.
we're expected to believe you.
you've come up
Whatever.
here and acted like you know so much more than everybody on this panel, and you have accomplished absolutely nothing as far as government accountability or any sort of thing to do with keeping the government accountable. Nothing
That's
that you
because I'm
can
a
cite.
shadow.
Nothing.
I've lived
just
like a
read
shadow
something.
my entire life.
I've just read
Sasquatch and I are both in litigation. We'll tell you what our cases are. We're not
Cool.
afraid.
Yeah, mine's civil, so I would never release any information
So is
about
mine.
So is
Yeah.
ours.
Yours
We
is
have
too.
civil cases.
We all,
We're
that.
not
Yeah, but I would
afraid.
never.
We're not denied.
No, it's very, very iffy ever putting any information out about a civil case before it's dealt with. That's a
Is
very
it?
sticky situation. Yep, for sure.
I mean, it's all on the public record, so.
yeah. It's
Okay,
not like
It's out there regardless.
it's not like it's a secret.
it is if you don't know about it.
No, not if it's a public record. That would make it
If
a
you
not
don't know,
secret.
if you're not given breadcrumbs to it, then it's going to be hard to find it, ain't it?
It's going to be hard to find if it doesn't exist as well, sir. And that's
Well, yeah,
really
that's
what
true.
I'm thinking.
Well,
We're not afraid of breadcrumbs. You know, it's out there. Man up.
I got people talking about me in another stream, but I don't. I'm here. No, what do you mean, man up?
Prove
All
one
I'm
word
saying,
that you've
guys-
said. That's what
If
he's saying.
you
He's
do
saying
gotta
man up and
you know what it
prove,
means.
prove one word you've said. Man up.
I'm not here to prove myself to you people that I don't know.
But you came here to ask me questions because for some reason you think I need to
What?
prove myself to you. You
Why
for
are
Well, you're
some
the one
reason
going
you
around
think
acting
for
like a
some
tyrant.
reason you think that you owe me your opinion, and I've given you that opportunity. So
You're the one going around acting like a tyrant.
Why is she acting like a
Okay.
tyrant? Can you define that, please?
he won't give us any instances.
Because she's
but yes,
making
why
a
don't you?
mountain out of a molehill, out of the Haunter issue, right?
Why?
And the
No,
way
she-
that
no,
you
she's
conduct.
not.
Well,
No, she's
to me,
not.
she is. Well,
Well, that's
to
your
me, she
opinion.
is.
That's your opinion.
She
Most
reported
of us
it.
will disagree with that.
Well-
YouTube does what they do.
Most
Yeah,
of us will
'cause it's
disagree with
the
that. The
laws of the
majority
time.
rules. The majority rules. Unfortunately for you.
Well, that's not how it works.
Well, it is how it
Defending
works.
one's-
Unfortunately,
Nope.
in the systems that we operate in, that is exactly how it works.
How do
And
you
that's
think
why
it's
we have
supposed to
corruption.
work? How do you think it's supposed to work? How should it have
That-
worked?
Where
That
would you
everybody
rather?
should have.
Where would you rather live? Where would you rather live? Which system would you rather live in? Give me a better place that you'd rather you were born in.
I'm not.
Name a country in the world. Come on. Which one's better than Canada for you?
There's
Just for
many
the
places
system.
that are just as good as Canada.
No, which
But
one's better?
they've made a lot of changes.
Which
That's the
one's
problem.
better? Which one's better?
Okay.
Law-wise, let's ignore the geography.
Well,
The sites
America
of
has some
Canada.
states that are pretty good. Let's say, for instance, right, like Colorado's not so bad, stuff like that. But do you believe in?
Well, because weed is freely available. But it was quite
There's a
liberal
few
on that.
different
Is that
things.
one? What
A
else?
few different things.
Why else is Colorado different?
Guns and acceptance of gay people, stuff like that.
Have you been working with your legislature at any level to change the laws about LGBT?
Well,
I have spoken.
he said he's got a husband, so I'm assuming that he's in a province that, and I don't know Canada laws on gay marriage, but I'm assuming that there is no, he's perfectly free to exercise his sexuality however he wants.
Right. But we also have laws that say that children can, against their parents' will, or at least against one of their parents' will, can be put on drugs to change their gender at like the age of 9. So that's a very serious problem, right? That we have a legal system
Hold on.
that
Another
allows
question.
for that
What
type
drug?
of thing that under any normal circumstances
what's-
would be considered child abuse.
What's that got to do
drug
with?
will change the gender? What drug
And
is
what's that got to do with tense mans gay rights. That's a totally different issue.
I had no
Gender-
clue you change your gender with drugs. I mean, I must be behind the times.
Yeah, that's confusing, isn't it?
Tell me, what is it? What drug is that?
To give them the opposite genders that they were born with,
You're
hormones
referring to
to
hormones.
make them change sex. Yeah,
So
drugs,
what?
whatever,
Who-
same thing.
Hormones are not
Who
a drug.
decides this?
What's
Tenth
the-
man.
Well,
Who
what
decides
they
this?
do.
It's considered a
decides
drug if you're in the Olympics. But anyway, go ahead.
Who decides this, 10th man? Sorry,
Who decides which?
who is deciding? Can the children choose against their parents' wishes? Can the parents choose for their children? Does the state choose? Who's making the decision?
That seems to depend on the situation from the different court cases that I've observed as of the last 5 or so years, where sometimes you are not even allowed to question it. Like, counselors and stuff have been accusing parents of not taking care of their children properly because they're not going along with these types of things. I'm not going to allow you to pin me down to making any specific statements so that I can ever be criminal charged.
Hang on. So this is someone who believes that so long as you don't harm anyone else, it's all right. Except he's totally against a child who believes that they're living in the wrong body, getting gender reassignment drugs. Am I understanding that correctly?
Before they're of legal age,
so the child cannot decide for themselves.
Not at 9 years old, no.
Who determines the age? Who determines the age?
That would be when they become an adult.
Who determines the age?
If you're going to determine the age
Do you determine
alcohol
the
and
age?
tobacco, then you would determine the age for something.
That's your opinion, isn't it? Because in reality, the people who determine the age is the democracy. If your democracy determines
wrong.
that age is, yeah, but that's how the
It's a
system
representative
works.
society, Frog. It's not necessarily democracy unless it's put out for referendum. It's the representatives that you have elected to office. Those are the ones that make the decisions on legislation.
Exactly. Yeah, but I mean, the age will be fed in by you know. There is no perfect way of voting on things, as we know. There is no perfect system. But 10th man wants to determine the age because he thinks the age should be 18. And because he thinks because he thinks it should be 18 or 16 or whatever an adult is in Canada, 17, I don't know what it is. But because that's the age at which that's the age that it should be. And if it isn't that, then 10th man's not good with that.
Well, it all depends on the individual subject. In this country, in the United States, at 18, you can be drafted and used as cannon fodder, but you're not allowed to drink until you're 21. You're not allowed to do quite a few things until you're 21.
I would like to give you guys a reference to what I'm speaking of, because I'm no expert on this specifically. But this is just one of the things that I've been watching and keeping, a little bit of an eye on. Her name is Laura, and then there's a hyphen, Lynn Tyler, or it's Tyler. So Laura hyphen Lynn space Tyler Thompson, and she's been going on about this for some time now. About this one specific case where there's a judge's order that she's not even allowed to broadcast about it or anything like that, and on and on. That this can happen in a modern society means that madness has taken over, right?
Well, that a child can decide
at 9 years old.
I don't know what the age should be. I'm not a psychologist.
When they still have imaginary friends.
I'm not saying what the age should be. I don't know. I imagine in the chat there'll be all different opinions about what the age should be.
But the majority of scientists,
10th man knows what the age should be. That's the difference.
The majority of scientists
knows that it should be an adult.
the majority of scientists
Cite it.
that I've looked into, and also psychologists, early adulthood
Citations.
people.
Citations.
Look it up,
Please
dude.
don't give us statistics without the citation, please.
I've seen many documentaries about this.
Yeah, you may have seen many
Tell us the
documentaries.
documentary. Can you cite something?
That's all just in the back of my mind, guys. So anyway, my point is, believe and have shown. And if you guys want to show me some documentation contrary, that'd be lovely. Because
Hang on,
I haven't seen any where they say, most times this stuff goes away after they're, an adult. So
I'm
to make them go ahead. I love how I'm never allowed to get a sentence out. You guys speak for 15 minutes.
I'm confused because you want the ability to do what you want, so long as it doesn't harm another. Whereas you are putting an age limit on a human being arbitrarily, because 10th man thinks it's that. Not that society thinks that it's that, but 10th man thinks it's that.
See, so
does 10th man think that because now children can't decide for themselves, so it's all right for adults to do female circumcision, say? Do you think that's right? Because adults are then making because the child obviously can't make that decision. That's an adult decision, and so that's fine.
That's not right either. But if she wants to go to a surgeon and have it done, then I guess that's kind of her choice once she's an adult.
Can y'all hear me at all?
Hey. Hi, Boomer.
Yes.
Hi, Boomer.
He's talking about the case in Canada that it was a kid who went to her counselor. They talked. She wanted to be the opposite sex. They told the parent. The parent was pissed, the dad, if I'm quoting this right. Then they had to go to the children's hospital, and the doctor that she seen said that yes, it's she wants to be the opposite sex. And I don't think she's 9. I believe she's 16.
Nope. That's from what I've seen, it's 9.
Okay, so it's the rest of the story correct other than the age?
Yep, pretty close from what,
Okay.
I'm no expert.
I know you're not. You don't shut up. You don't listen. Open your ears, close your mouth. From what I have researched, she is getting it done because she's transgender. She's been like this since she's been a child. Her mother has taken her to a psychologist numerous times about it in the previous. It's her dad who doesn't want it. You stated something about mother and father as long as one parent agrees. That is correct. Her mother did agree with it. Her dad disagrees with it.
Have you known any transgender people personally?
What does that have to do with the price of rice in China?
Just asking.
I'm following a fucking story just like you are. Like, I wanted to get on a long time ago. You said that you were stopped and charged with having weed on you. Were you convicted? Hold on. I'm making a stand. You said that, and then you said that you've never been in trouble at all, and that you were pure. If you were stopped for breaking a law because the weed law did not go in effect and it didn't become legal until 2 years after, then therefore you were not pure. You're not pure. You broke a law. A law is a law. If it's under you, do you ever just shut up?
Well, what you're saying is terrible.
How is it terrible?
You don't even see how terrible it is, but you don't see it. That's the whole point of why I'm here. And it's fine. You guys can attack me.
It's the truth of your situation.
No,
a law is a law, whether it's just or unjust. You were supposed to stop the unjust laws. You were supposed to fight against the unjust laws. You broke the law. You did it intentionally. So what I'm saying is you are a liar because you got caught with weed and then you said you're pure. There is not one person on earth that is pure.
Right. His definition of pure, I'm assuming, and you know what happens when you do that, is that he's never harmed a human being.
Hey, 10th man.
Is that Odin?
Man. Yes, it's my
what up,
fucking Odin.
buddy? This is your room?
these are my peeps. Okay.
What up, gangsta?
Okay. First thing
You're
you're
about
doing, fuck.
ignorant.
The first thing you're doing wrong is you're trying to cite studies, case law, this and that. You're pulling it out of your ass. Okay. If
Well,
you don't hold on, you're gonna let me fucking talk, son, and you're gonna listen. Okay, son.
okay. Yeah.
Okay. Sit there and shut your cocksucker.
Just-
Shut
That's
up.
Oh,
actually
you cut me
cock-holster.
off. You
Listen.
can shut the fuck up.
Listen.
I've been
Hold
trying
on,
to hold
Boomer.
on 1 second. I'll let you talk as much as you want, Odin.
Boomer.
But I've been trying to tell you this for like
Ten,
almost a
10,
week. It's
10,
actually cock holster.
10.
It's cock holster.
Whatever.
Cock
Cock
Continue.
holster, cocksucker, whatever.
I love you,
When
Odin. Go.
When you come into these groups of people, and I'm going to use your term, I'm sorry, guys. These groups of people, they want evidence. They want
Okay,
hard
Odin.
facts.
I
They
have to
want
interrupt you
links
real quick.
They want links to case
I know.
files. They
But,
want
Odin,
you to prove them wrong, and you
1 second.
haven't done it yet.
No, 1 second,
understand.
nothing. You don't
Yeah,
shut
Odin.
the fuck up.
Odin,
Shut up and
Odin.
let other people talk. You talk just to hear
Ma'am,
your own goddamn
I don't know
voice.
you. I don't know you, but
I
Odin and I
don't
have a
care.
previous relationship, and I would like to explain something to him real quick.
And he cut me
Odin,
off. You're a liar.
I was in
You're a liar.
I was in Jeff's stream, and I went link, and then I was on my phone cooking rice, and then I clicked on the link, and I showed up in here. I thought I was going into Jeff's room, and then I was like, oh, this is not where I expected to be. All right, well, I saw Theresa in here. I'm like, let's rock and roll. So
Well,
I understand where you're coming from. I do understand where you're coming from, Odin, 1,000%. But I didn't even know. It's not like somebody sent me an email or said, hey, 10th man, you want to come over and talk to these guys? I literally clicked on this link and thought it was Jeff's room, and have been in here for many, many hours at least an hour, 15 minutes or so, maybe more.
Hour and 46 minutes and.
Oh, did this get started for me? Oh, I feel so special. But anyway, I didn't even know where I was going.
It's a summit.
It's like
we're having a summit here.
I took a wrong turn, Odin. I clicked on a link, and I ended up in here, and I just showed up. So anyway, you guys go ahead. It's all good.
10th man.
Oh, we're allowed to go ahead. Holy shit.
Fucking coon ass. God, you got her all fired up. Now she ain't gonna ever shut up.
Happy
I'm not
Christmas.
fired up yet, Odin. Not even
Jesus
close.
fuck. I'm gonna have to put her back in her damn cage and rattle it.
I will
10th
beat the shit out of you.
10th man. When you want to say like Adelaide v. Florida, pull up the link, and that way people can read what you're saying and make sure it's true, or if you're reading it.
Yeah. It's not. I didn't come prepared for class.
Hell, if I'm going to argue with Theresa, I'm going to make sure I have all my ducks in a row because she knows her shit.
This lady. I don't know this lady. I just don't like how she conducts herself. So that's how this ended up being a thing. It's all good to me.
You keep saying you don't like how I conduct myself, but you can't show us or give me one incident
Just right
that you're
now.
even talking about.
This conversation right here. Let's make it recent. Let's not bother going back to the past. We'll worry about that at a later date.
Okay, what
No,
did I
let's
do
worry
to you?
about it now.
What did
Let's
I do
worry
to you
about
in
it
this
now.
conversation? What have I done wrong in this conversation, sir?
Just the way you speak to people. Just the way that's what I've seen more than once, right? And then I went and looked around a little bit and started going, maybe these
you don't
people.
like women who stand up for themselves? You don't like that?
Did I say women?
Oh, you seem to have a thing with women. You were nice, calm,
I think you
cool,
hate men.
collected with all the. No,
I'm
love
getting a feeling that you hate men, dear.
Sweetie, I'm getting the feeling that you have to be the most egotistical sack of shit I've ever met.
Only when I deal with people that think that they're better than others.
And
I
see,
never said
and
I'm
you're
better than everybody. You're the one who claims that you are a victim. You're the
No,
one
I'm only
who
better than you.
Whoa.
You
you are the one that has been talking down to everyone here, and you're
Not true.
accusing me of doing that.
No, not you. The little lady that's screaming right now.
10th man.
No,
I'm not screaming.
you're not
Boy,
better
you're
than
screaming.
she is.
Yeah.
10th
You are
man.
not better than
Yes,
she
sir.
is.
Let's go back to the
No,
screen.
you're better
Hold
than
on.
nobody.
Hold on, Sasquatch. Hold on.
No,
You
fuck you. This is my
hold
fucking.
on.
Shut up, Odin, or I'll mute your ass. Okay? Now,
Tasman, you need to put yourself in check and back up and apologize to Boomer. You're out.
I don't know who that is.
I'm Boomer,
okay.
bitch.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
10th man, you aren't better than anybody. Okay?
of course not. But I'm
well,
just saying.
then don't you fucking say that you're better than fucking Boomer, because you're not.
I'm better than everybody.
Okay? No, you got me riled up now when you said
Greatest
that
there
shit.
ever has been.
And you don't listen. Jesus Christ, you got to talk over fucking everybody.
Somebody gets some golf shoes. There's blood everywhere.
Dude, do you know why nobody likes you in this whole whatever you call a community? Is because
Lots of people like me.
They pretend, sweetie. They pretend.
Okay, they pretend. Do they pretend for my feelings?
I've
Is that why they're
been trying to be
pretending?
nice to you. I know I called you an idiot earlier, but I've been
Well,
otherwise.
you guys are all fired up. It's all good. No.
You have to
Once
know
you
me,
get to
though.
know me, once you get to know me a little bit, you'll
Yeah,
understand where I'm coming from. I
you'd have
don't
to know
like
me too.
trolls.
If I may ask a
You-
question, which I made a statement on a little earlier, what is your definition of a pure soul?
You're a professional victim. Get over yourself.
Sorry, Odin. Frog wants back on.
It's all good. You can drop me and let him on.
Thanks, Odie. I won't be on for long, but my browser froze.
We can hear you.
Good. No, I'm back now.
Oh, Mr.
Hey,
Ted,
Frog.
yeah,
Hey,
Ted,
Boomer.
did you hear my question?
Just refresh me real quick. So there's a lot going on. I got a cat attacking me with wanting love. So anyway, I know you guys don't know me, and that's perfectly fine. You'll never know me because I'm just a random person from the world. And I live in a far off place that's mythical from what I've been told. And I never had a problem with anybody. Don't have a problem with Theresa. Don't even really have a problem with Frog because none of the things that you guys say mean anything to me, right? You're just some random people. I just don't like what I've seen, right? And not about that other Earl guy or whatever. I saw a couple of his videos before any of this nonsense came up. You know, I have no skin in this game, but
Why
I
don't
just
you
don't
go
like
back?
I don't like bullies, right?
Why don't
You
you
guys
go
seem to
back?
be a bit of bullies.
Why don't you go back to the rock from which you came out from?
You guys seem to be bullies.
Why
That's the
don't you
Sometimes,
go?
All right,
sometimes
if I may,
stand up to bullies.
Well,
you can
know
you can
why?
have your opinion. You can have
Because
your
it's my
opinion of
job to
what you
stand up to
what
bullies.
you think we
well,
are.
you'll
is it
get
your
over
job?
it. 10th man, you will get over it.
How?
Eventually. Time does wonderful things.
You stood
I've
up
been
to us
stand-
tonight. How you doing?
I mean,
how's that
what
working
you
out
I'm
for
doing
you?
awesome.
tonight means nothing
I've
to me.
proved my point tonight.
You haven't proved anything.
Oh, I
That's
proved a
okay.
lot.
That you can talk.
Classic soft
No.
sit again.
I mean,
It's all the same techniques, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the Socratic method, but if I can
Yeah.
get an answer to my question,
I've
for me.
never once called anybody here names.
I haven't called you a name.
I'll call you a
This other-
fucking cunt. I don't care. That
See?
doesn't mean you. That doesn't mean I've won or you've won. I mean, I can call you a fucking cunt. I mean,
Yeah.
does it matter?
Yeah, but
no.
sovereign citizen and that other thing you said, those are like lines.
Well, no, sovereign citizen. You are.
You've crossed lines.
Why is sovereign citizen crossing line? You are identical to the number of soft sits that we've come across. You're identical.
You're identical to a Nazi soldier that says, "Hey, put them in the oven. It's the law."
Of course, I'm not. Of course, I'm not.
Yeah, you sound, that's how you sound.
No, it doesn't.
All
That's
right,
my ultimate fear.
Can I get back to my question and get it answered,
Yes,
please?
sir.
What is your definition of a pure soul?
Somebody who doesn't harm people and goes out of their way to help the weak or the people who, are not in as good of a position as they are. It's what I've done my whole life. Told a story
Prove it.
earlier
Like Jesus?
Yeah.
Prove it.
No, not like
Prove
Jesus. Like what a human's
Like
supposed to be.
The story of
Yeah.
Jesus.
You haven't proved anything. You haven't proved any of this. You haven't proved one case where you've helped anyone. Not one case.
Not a single one.
Let me take this back. I had to come back on and address something you said. You're saying,
yes,
in a generalization, that this is nothing but bullies. We are all
no.
bullies.
I'm sure you guys. I'm sure you guys do some good.
Let me tell you a story and why I'm with these guys, okay, and gals. It's because I was bullied by the people, the rapists, the diddlers, and the auditing community, okay? I did a lot for the auditing community in a very short time I was in it. Then I started getting called a snitch by the so-called godfather of the auditor movement. Bullshit. Then his buddy starts spreading around, I'm a snitch. You don't go calling people a snitch. Okay, that ain't like calling somebody a bitch. It's a whole different ball game and a whole different level when you take it up to snitch. Then they started calling other people snitches. That I knew it was not true. All right. People tried to scam me, cost me thousands and thousands of dollars if it would have gone through. Okay. No, don't tell me that we're the bullies. Okay. We leave that shit because of their bullying. Okay. Theresa is a victim of bullying for the last 2 years. It has been nothing but bully Theresa. Don't tell me we're the bullies, motherfucker. You're a gay man. You've been bullied. You've been bullied. Research. Don't fucking tell me this. We're bullies. Bullshit.
What I've seen is bullying.
You don't know anything about us. And from what you've said,
I can only go off of what I've experienced.
That's right. From what you've said, your experience is very minor compared to what we've all been through. And that includes just about every single one of us on this panel.
The other side of it is, if you don't do your research and you believe the first person that comes along that tells a story and don't research what they're talking about and take it at face value and make that your belief, you're also as naive and as bullying as anybody else can be in here or elsewhere. Do your research before you make an accusation.
That's what he came here to do. I mean, that's why he was following me around from stream to stream, trying to ask me questions, was because he wanted to bully me.
Which I still haven't answered it.
And
been able to.
And he's going to talk over me, but he's the one that's going to come in here and try to bully me because he thinks I'm bullying other people. And then now he's going to make the accusation that I haven't answered all his questions. And we all know that I gave him every opportunity to ask. Did I not?
No, I've been walked on the whole time, but that's all right.
No, you haven't. No, you haven't, 10th man. You have not been walked on the whole time. You've dominated the conversation.
Well, you guys, that's mostly been me answering questions and you guys saying that.
Sorry?
I'm full of shit.
Answering questions?
You are full of shit.
Yeah. Can you remind me of how many questions he's answered, Sass?
Is it I haven't answered them the way you'd like.
Is it up to 10? I don't know.
No, it's none.
Well, you couldn't believe a damn thing he said anyways because he's a liar.
Do you believe, Theresa, do you believe that over like a few minutes video, right, on Hunter's video, that it required that level, like it was almost like a little bit extreme?
No, I didn't think I didn't think it warranted a copyright strike. Is that what you're asking? When I saw what he had done and what Jen had done, I did not think that it warranted a copyright strike. That's right. What I thought it warranted was me saying, "Hey, next time ask before you use my things." Okay, that's what I thought it warranted up until the reaction that I got. And I want to make sure that this question's answered because you've asked me this question over and over again and going to pretend like I haven't answered it. But the fact of the matter is, sir, is that no, I didn't think it warranted a copyright strike. What I thought it warranted was a warning, and for him to say, "I'm sorry," or even whatever, not to call me a big bitch, not to cuss at me, not to tell me to fuck off and blah, 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 and go file it if I didn't like what was going on. That's not how you treat people. All right.
Okay.
So when you want to talk about people bullying other people around, make
Yep.
sure you get your facts straight, sir. I don't think it warranted a copyright strike. Apparently, he did.
And as we already went over, he's not in a good place in his life right now. And I
Hey,
just
buddy,
saw it
that's
as
not my
you.
problem. I didn't take on the
I
whole
saw
world
it as
to raise.
you knocking
I
him
did not
down.
take on the whole world to raise. I have tried my very best to help that boy. I have tried to
I
tell him
understand
over and
that.
over again to listen to his attorney, to shut the fuck up, but he doesn't
Yep.
listen. He doesn't want
Right.
help. What he wants to do is be on the internet all day long, bitching and moaning and cussing about the government not getting any closer to getting his children back. All right?
Right.
Know the details, sir.
And
Yeah.
and tenth
I
man,
understand.
you know, life is tough and times are hard, and life fucking happens.
Yep.
And you know, he'll get over it eventually.
You say you understand, 10th man, but how many times have you told him that on live stream with him? You've been on live stream
few.
with him for many
A
hours.
few. A few.
Why'd you stay on live stream with him? I mean, I went on there. I spoke to him. I said you shouldn't be on it. I've seen your video. I've seen where you went on telly. I've not really got anything against Hunter. You know, and I've told him, get off YouTube. That's the only way he's going to sort his life out.
Well,
and you encourage him by going on panel streams with him.
No, I've
Yes, you
had
do.
discussions with him numerous times.
Exactly.
Where
You
I've
just
told
said
him
that.
he
You
should-
had discussions with him. Not
Yeah.
all of
He's
your
on panel
discussions are
stream.
telling him, get the fuck off YouTube. That's all your discussions should be. Get the fuck off YouTube, because if you don't, you ain't getting your children back ever. And if you have any more, they're going to be taken off you.
He's not just on panel streams, but he's on panel streams cursing me out and smoking weed. And he's trying to get his children back, right?
Well, I don't know. I never noticed.
And we're the
that.
bad people. And we're the bad
I never
people.
noticed. I never
right.
really paid
He's
attention to what
saying
he's
about-
doing.
Right. Because you don't really give a shit about him. You know, you think that you're trying to protect him, but you don't know a thing about him, and you don't give two shits what happens to him or his children. I do.
I'm always the voice of reason when they're having their meltdowns.
Why do
And I
you
try
keep
to-
him on a live stream for 10 hours then?
He
Voice
wasn't
of
on my
reason-
live stream.
Voice of reason would have said, hey, get off.
He's never been on my live stream.
Well, yeah,
Say
because
that.
you go on everybody else's, and you just like to talk and talk and talk and talk and talk, and it ain't no fucking wonder he's swallowing your fucking line of bullshit.
Who is?
I mean, he's already told us he's only been here a month. I mean, he knows
Right.
he knows fuck all, and yet
I don't need to know. I know what's right and what's wrong.
We're all trolls or bullies because we think
Just the way you
differently
act.
and believe differently than
Well,
he
it's not
does.
it's that you're trying to force your will on others forcefully, and it
Bullshit.
just the way that this conversation has gone.
Bullshit. Who the fuck are you? You've been here a whole month. You don't know what any one of these people.
Oh, I've been
or
on the
I
internet a
have
long
been
time, and I
through
know
this.
people like you. I know people like you.
You don't know anybody like me. I'm one of a
I know.
kind.
We're all facsimiles.
Yeah, well,
You're delusional.
Well, some people
Well,
say
then-
that, but you know what? The many mental health professionals that I've been to, which is in the many dozens throughout my life, have always told me that there's absolutely nothing wrong with me. They're the ones who have uttered the words profit. Because when I sit there and explain the way that I look at things to you,
Oh my God. You're
if I was
perfect.
given,
All hell, 10th man.
how
No, it's
comes
nothing
he's
to do with
been
that.
to many mental health
Right?
practitioners, and there's nothing wrong with
Because
him?
he's a prophet, Frog. He's a prophet.
no, because I've always tried to understand people, and I do understand people now, and I understand your motivations.
You haven't tried to
You don't know
understand
my-
anything about us, sir. You have no clue what you're talking about.
You are speaking to 5 very different people on this panel. 5
I can
very
tell.
different people, but you're grouping us all together.
No, I can tell that. No, I can tell.
What?
No,
No, I'm saying
you
I.
can't.
You don't know who I am compared to who Teresa or Frog or Sass is. You have no clue. None.
I can tell enough by just what I've
You can't
experienced.
tell jack shit.
Well,
Boomer.
you say that.
He
You say
can
that.
tell that you, Sass, Teresa, and NJ are all successful as this thing called life. You know, relatively successful. We've all got our own problems, but we're all relatively successful, and that makes him uncomfortable with us.
I'm not uncomfortable at all.
What?
I'm not on. You guys think that I'm uncomfortable?
The way
No, sorry,
he
guys.
has talked this evening, and my impression of him is that we are the unpure.
Nope, definitely
he's
not.
pure.
Just the uninformed. Just I think maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong.
Pure
Like
as
that's what I'm saying.
hard,
I look at
though.
everything that
You
I'm
have
automatically
come with
wrong.
no information that you can back up. Not a single bit of information that you can back up have you brought to this conversation, sir. Not one shred.
I mean, you've been in this
You've-
so-called
Not
First
required to do
Amendment.
anything.
And I was speaking, but it doesn't really matter. You've been in this so-called First Amendment community for a month,
Okay.
which is basically a First Amendment community, an
And
American.
I've been watching it,
Would
for
you
many
shut
years.
the fuck up? God damn
No.
it!
No, you don't get to throw 17 accusations and assertions at me and expect me to sit here and wait
It's
like a
not
good
only
little puppy.
Frog you're cutting off. You've cut off every
And
goddamn
if I
person
don't
on this whole
stop
fucking
cutting
stream in the
people
last
off,
2
what's
hours.
gonna happen? No, it's because your forms of speaking are accusational.
Very
They're
well.
not a
You can eat a
conversation.
big bag
It's
of
not a
dicks.
conversation. It's your
Oh,
conversational
please. Your form of
skills are terrible.
Speaking. Your form of speaking is accusational as well. Come on now.
No. I ask questions
All
and try to
right.
understand.
Word salad.
You're a prophet. You're a prophet. Why do you need
I
to
never
ask
said I am.
questions? You should know
I said
already.
other people have
Yes,
called
you
me that.
did.
No, I said other people have called me that.
Oh Lord, you're
Citation.
delusional.
Citation. Can you give us examples of who's called you a prophet?
I spoke with a mental health professional within the last 6 months that said that to me.
Awesome.
You
Get
need
a
to
report.
go back and speak to them again and grab some meds while you're at it.
Pure hearsay.
I doubt the mental health.
I didn't know I was coming to
professional.
court, guys, when you sent that random subpoena out in the random chat.
This is court.
You guys
is
are
it?
awesome. You guys are actually someone just said that it's pure hearsay.
Yeah, I did.
You guys
Mainly
are freaking
because what
awesome.
you are into right here, sir, is the court of public opinion.
Right.
And you just said that a mental health professional told you that you were a prophet.
Well, not that blatantly. Not that blatantly.
Well, that's what you said. That's exactly what you
mental
said.
health professional
That's
needs to
exactly
get
what you
mental
said.
health.
Oh my goodness. You guys are great.
Right, so
your words.
Your
We
words.
deal in facts.
Yeah, whatever.
We deal in facts.
Sorry, I
We
don't
deal
use
in
all the
facts.
exactly right words to suit your guys'.
Well, it's quite a statement to make that a mental health professional
He
called you a
alluded
prophet.
to it. He's close to the
Hang on.
exact words that he said were oftentimes throughout history they've written of people who were prophets, and prophets are usually not treated very well, because I went to him for the same reason that I've been to many people.
Dog shit.
No, he said those exact words almost. And the reason is because I go to these people and I ask them, I'm like, why do people do these things? Because I don't have any reason to do these things, like terrible, terrible things, where they're willing to do it. If they don't think that they're actually being recorded doing it, and I'm not talking about First Amendment audits, things that I've experienced in my own life, where I've recorded things that they didn't know I was recording. And it was terrible, the things that they did. They'll falsify documents. They'll do anything just to try to destroy you for no reason. Like, you can be the nicest person.
Is that something
to destroy you?
that we can see?
To destroy you,
Teresa.
Are those videos something that you've uploaded that we can see?
No.
Of course not.
And this is
But-
destroy you, yes? Destroy
No,
you.
I've seen it. I've seen it to happen to other people too. I've tried to help them through it many times.
Oh,
Many
he's a
things
helper.
that I've seen. Yeah, I've helped many, many, many people in my life.
He's what was his name? Ethics Instead.
A
I'm
lot,
not
yeah.
sure what that is.
Yeah, that's
Oh.
another one. Yeah, that's a similarity, isn't it?
I'm the guy who
Helping other
goes to
people.
the
That's probably
World
the
War II
closest.
veterans' house that is their backyard neighbor and clears the ice off for no reason and won't take money because, you know, I used to be friends with his wife. That's the type of, I'm just a good guy, right? I don't do bad things.
know,
And if I see
most
somebody needs some
people
help,
who talk the line of bullshit that you talk are
Yes.
not good people. They're just bad
Well,
people in general.
I understand that. I've
I'm
gotten a
pretty
lot of flack
good
since I came here.
Judge of character, and you have
Yeah.
no character.
Well, when my first stream, I came in, I said, hey, everybody, how's it going? A couple of my relatives watched me on your stream the other day, and they think that I should be a politician. Because, you know, I'm the smartest person. No, I said, I never met
you're
anybody
the
smart. I said, I never
dumbest
met anybody smarter than me. I never met anybody smarter than me. And
Of course not.
that went on for
Narcissists never do.
about 3 weeks. That went on for about 3 weeks of people, and it's still a running joke sometimes.
Narcissists never meet anybody who is better than them. You're a
Yeah, but
fucking
it was-
narcissist.
It was a joke. It's me saying I see things from a different perspective. Doesn't mean I'm smarter than other people.
You
I
see
can see
things
if-
from the only glasses that are on your face, rose color. It's only you.
I can see if you
Nope.
go on
You have done-
5. Sorry, Boomer.
Go ahead, Frog.
No, I was just going to say I can see if you go on a stream with five other people like Becky O, that you can consider yourself the smartest in the room.
I was just messing around, man. I was just messing
She's dumber
around,
than a bag of hammers.
just trying to be just you know. And it was the whole thing. It turned into a whole thing. I found it hilarious in all seriousness. And as for poor Hunter, sorry, everybody always says
Fuck
it wrong.
Hunter.
I've tried to tell him numerous times, you need to lay low. Now, I did like his video that he did where the kid got punched, because that showed what they're dealing with over there. But now some of the stuff that he's done since then, I don't completely agree with. And, you know, we're all trying to tell him you got to, you know, lay low.
Is this his kid got punched, or a video of another kid that got punched?
No, you guys probably remember that video. I believe it was in North Carolina, and the 16-year-old kid that looked like he was about 5'4", 100 pounds, soaking wet, got attacked by that giant security guard, and then his face smashed off the ground by a cop and a security guard, and then the cop punched him in the face once or twice because he spit blood out of his mouth and all that stuff.
Hunter likes to hit children, doesn't he?
I don't know anything about that, but I'm just talking about this one specific
so
video.
You don't know anything about that.
So you haven't watched what was the TV show? I can't think of
Steve
the name.
Wilco.
Steve Wilco. So you haven't watched Hunter on that then? You're an expert on Hunter, but you haven't watched
Not an
that.
expert on anybody.
You spent
Not an
hours
expert
and
on
hours
anybody.
talking to him. Hours and hours talking to him. You didn't know he was on the Steve Wilco show?
I don't even know what that is.
Exactly.
I don't
You're the
investigate
smartest-
people's
man.
lives.
Smartest person in the room here?
I don't care who
Dumber than
people
a
are.
bag
What
of
does that have
rocks.
to do with anything?
Well,
Either
I'm
people
going
are
to
doing
end
good
this.
things or bad things, right? The way
I'm
that I
gonna
see
end
you
this
guys
stream
going about
now.
this seems very manipulative.
Okay, Sass.
So, thanks for stopping in. I hope
Thank you.
everybody had fun.
Great
Sass,
fun.
thank you for 2 hours and 13 minutes of the hottest panel stream I've ever been on in my life.
Thank
And
you
I
very
would love
much.
to come into some of your guys' panels and see how you guys do things.
I'm always me. You get me just like this all the time.
Pretty
Sass,
much.
it's the best panel stream I've been on. Thank
Me
you.
too, Sass.
It's one of the best I've done, even though I didn't work very hard to do it.
Happy Christmas.
I got all you to thank
Oh,
for it.
shut
So
the fuck up, dude.
Monetize it. Monetize it.
I
You're
can't.
welcome.
That monetizing shit's above me. So thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
Sass.
Cheers,
Night,
Sass.
everybody.
Night.
Thank you, Sasquatch.
You're welcome.